It all began with the district attorney's presentation in front of commissioners at a special called meeting on July 16th. DA Higgins discussed the budget shortfall for this fiscal year, essentially justifying the hiring of more staff to accommodate the heavy caseload of his office. In this presentation, he explained to commissioners where the shortfall was and broke down the office's coverage area, salaries, and the amount of county funds available to hire ADAs was miscalculated, adding that staff failed to notify him about the problem. 2 weeks later, the exchange of emails and letters begins between the Glynn County Attorney and DA Higgins. In that time, the Board of Commissioners requested a detailed plan for the reimbursement of nearly $1 million. The county alleges that that money was spent when the DA's office hired more staff without submitting the proper paperwork. Higgins said in a phone call with me today, it was a mistake made by one of his staffers who is no longer employed with his office. The back and forth went on for about a month and a half, culminating on September 11th when the board ceased payroll processing for the DA's office. As a reminder, this all impacts juvenile court cases, which the DA says he's disappointed to no longer prosecute. He says each area will be forced to assign their own prosecutors instead. The county is aware of that upcoming September 30th deadline for handling those juvenile court cases. The Glynn County manager said, quote, "The board has been very clear. We want to make sure the wheels of justice keep turning. We want to have something in place before that deadline." I'm working to bring you the financial details of this dispute and more from the DA coming up on the news at 5. Reporting in studio, Madeline Bierster, WTOC News. Dating back months, the district attorney has been in communication with Glynn County commissioners about the budget deficit his office is facing from hiring additional staff to cover their caseload. In a July 31st letter, commissioners rejected Higgins' request for $362,000 to cover staffing requirements. The county also requested reimbursement for an additional $883,000, threatening to cut off payroll processing by the end of August. On August 28th, the DA sent an email to the Board of Commissioners referencing inconsistencies in the amount that the DA's office was supposed to receive each month. He alleged that his office is supposed to receive more than $91,000, but instead payments had varied from $80,000 to $95,000 since July. He also alleged that next year's payments from Glynn County are set to be $13,000 less than expected. Most recently in this back and forth, Glynn County asked for a bigger amount from DA Higgins, up more than $53,000 from the previous $883,000 they say he owes. Higgins said he could pay Glynn County back within the next 4 fiscal years, and his office will now focus more specifically on the most violent cases for the foreseeable future. Tonight at 6, we'll show you how this is impacting one local family pursuing justice for their child. Reporting in the newsroom, Madeline Bierster, WTOC News.
I mean, we're just watching perpetrators walk around free in our neighborhood. Our kids aren't safe. Nobody's safe.
This 6-year-old's mother, Jana, says her son was tortured for 9 months by his former stepbrother at their Wayne County home. His name is Orion, and the suspect is 13 now. Georgia law does not allow us to reveal the names of juvenile suspects. That 13-year-old has been charged with aggravated child molestation and aggravated sexual battery, both grade A felonies.
He molested and tortured my son to horrific extents, so badly, like it's stuff that you would do to somebody you have tied in the basement that you were about to kill. It was severe. My child has injuries, permanent injuries. I don't know if he'll ever have children. I'm not sure how severe the injuries are until he actually gets a little bit older.
Jana says Orion is now seeing a therapist to deal with the emotional trauma brought by the abuse. Meanwhile, his mother worries about if his case will even make it to court with the changes in prosecution, meaning DA Higgins won't be leading their case.
And he's experienced things that I will never experience in my lifetime. And it's horrific to me that he had to go through stuff like that, because I just can't imagine. And with it being my baby, you know what I mean? I just can't imagine somebody doing that to my kid, man.
She says while they wait for justice, the teen who hurt Orion is living the childhood her own son should have.
I feel like they stole my kid's childhood, and he should lose his. You know what I mean? He's not the same kid anymore, and he never will be.